I was born. I was born November 7th, 1997. I grew up in Ashley, Ohio, which you guys have probably never heard of. So, I grew up in like a moderately Christian household, not really, but like we went to church on like Easter, Christmas, like that kind of thing. But I never knew God really until we moved to Marion. But my parents, when I was young, always expected a lot out of me, like with my grades. Like I always felt like I had to be like the best almost, like I had to be perfect. Like they would always reward me for like all A's and stuff. And if I didn't like do what they wanted me to do, I would always get like harsh words thrown my way. So I became kind of a perfectionist through that. And like through that, I developed a lot of self-esteem issues. But we moved to Marion when I was in 3rd grade. And my brother started to go to youth group with our neighbors, and then through that, I eventually started going to church. And as a middle schooler, I got baptized, and I was completely on fire for God. At that time, I hadn't really let like the world affect me yet. I didn't really care what people thought about me, and like I wasn't afraid to like share my faith with my friends or like pray with them or ask like what was going on in their life or if I could pray for them or anything like that. A lot of this, I feel like my youth pastor when I was in middle school at Trinity, Tony, I really looked up to him, and he really made being a Christian like fun for me, I guess. And so after he left and I moved churches, religion kind of became really hard for me. I didn't want to go to youth group. I didn't want to go to church because it was different. I didn't have my friends anymore. I didn't have the youth pastor that kind of brought me to become the Christian that I was. I didn't have that anymore, and so I kind of began to like dislike church. And because of this, my relationship with my parents really like fell through. Really, I lied to them a lot. I just did whatever I wanted. I talked to them however I wanted to do. Everything that they said, I didn't really care what they said. I never listened to them. So my relationship with my parents and my family was just awful. So going into high school, my perfectionism followed me. I always had to have the best clothes out of my friends or look the best. I had to be the best at every sport. I had to have the best grades, or I was just totally disappointed with myself. And this carried into like the relationship I would carry with boys, I guess. I would always have to have the best boyfriends, and I would get wrapped all up in them. And as I started to do this, my relationship with God was at rock bottom. In fact, if someone were to ask me my freshman year if I even believed in God, I'd probably tell them no. I had no faith, and I was highly influenced by a lot of my atheist friends that I surrounded myself around. I began to find all of my self-esteem that I lacked to find through God through boys. I got involved in a couple serious relationships where I invested all of my time and my energy, and I lost a lot of friends. But I liked the way that the love and affection that was like fake that I kind of felt. But I lost a lot of friends, and my grades fell, and the dreams that I had always had for volleyball, I let go down the drain because I would always want to be spending time with these boys. And then I attended Life Retreat, and I entered with no faith, whatever. I just kind of went because, I was going to church because my brother's a youth pastor, my dad's really big into church and everything, and it was just kind of like, I have to go. And so I went and I left kind of on fire for God, like with faith that was stronger than ever. I learned that God loves us so much even when we choose to turn our backs on Him. And as of right now, I guess my faith isn't exactly where it should be, which I think we can all improve our faith, but I've learned and have been trying to find my self-esteem through God instead of through earthly things, and I've been surrounding myself with people that challenge my faith and push me to make me a better person. And a verse that I really like right now is 1 Peter 3:3-4. It says, "Do not let your adorning be external, the braiding of your hair and the putting on of gold jewelry or the clothing you wear, but let your adorning be the hidden person of the heart with the imperishable beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which in God's sight is very precious."